It's time to talk about Kaleb Johnson. At 6 foot and 225 pounds, he played for Iowa and is a savvy zone runner with the instincts and vision of an impactful NFL starter at the next level. Johnson is smooth for a back of bigger stature and illustrates the necessity slipperiness off of contact and add extra value to his touches outside of what is blocked. The decisiveness in his cuts should allow him to minimize negative runs and help with the precision of bursting through lanes at the point of attack and bouncing, into space. Johnson's passing down profile should sufficiently meet all needs for developing into a primary ball carrier at the NFL level as well, making him an attractive option on day 2 as a potential early starter with room to grow. Now let's kind of talk about some positives here with Kaleb Johnson. He showcases elite vision and anticipation of setting up second level defenders in zone concepts. He's slippery contact balances to use a loose frame and to deaden his body off of contact and absorb glancing blows while maintaining momentum. And he's also a very patient runner that processes creases versus bubbles accordingly and attacks for available yardage first. Some negatives now, since we have to go over some positives, you gotta have negatives. I would say sufficient pass protector who offers, good vision and eagerness to close angles, but execution at first contact is a work in progress. He has a modest passing game profile as a receiver who isn't really asked to do a lot than other running back screens and swings. Really not asked to do much else other than that. And then he appears to have only a modest open field explosiveness to break to second level angles. Looking at the background of Johnson now, he did grow up in Hamilton, Ohio and played high school football at Hamilton High School while also competing in track and basketball, but Johnson's successes on the gridiron quickly pushed him down the path to college football. A 3-year letterman and 2-year captain, Johnson earned first team All-State as a senior en route to a 3-star recruiting ranking. In addition to Iowa, Johnson drew interest and offers from programs such as West Virginia, Pittsburgh, Michigan State, Kentucky, Iowa State, and Cal. As a true freshman in 2022, Johnson started 6 games for the Hawkeyes while setting a freshman record for rushing yards with 779. He also returned kickoffs during that season, offering, contributions on special teams in addition to his key role on offense. Johnson would go on to start 5 of 10 games played in 2023, missing 3 games due to a high ankle sprain suffered against Iowa State. He returned to full health, with a vengeance in 2024, becoming one of the most productive running backs in the country behind Iowa's physical offensive line. Johnson offers many appealing qualities to the next level that should afford him opportunities to be a starter. The Iowa run scheme is well established under Kirk Ferentz, and the whole rushing zone, operation runs really smooth, grooming Johnson for a potentially similar role in the NFL. He runs hard with the necessary, urgency to press the line of scrimmage. This isn't a runner who gets picky with the reads and tries to do more than what is in the design of the actual run. The result is a thing of beauty for zone rushing aficionados. So Johnson's eyes are disciplined out of the mesh point, and he's quick to process if the primary gap is open when he presses the line of scrimmage. His cadence and tempo in the backfield as he scans through his gaps are effectively smooth. This isn't a player who skips over the gaps, hastily or jumps out of the track prematurely without allowing the blocks to set up. When he has a crease and he needs to cut, you see an acceleration to attack the gap and his feet flip into a new gear, right, to get himself redirected. Johnson doesn't have the most dynamic lower half, and as a result, his hard cuts lose some of their burst and explosiveness, but he makes up for that with the vision and the feel for the front. In the whole, Johnson showcases really nifty work addressing lateral contact. He's less of a violent pinball absorbing contact and more of kind of a shock absorber. He negates contact with his own limbs and body, offsetting the potential knockback impact from defenders. But Johnson does so in a way that allows him to keep his momentum directed on his path upfield. As a result, he can consistently play through contact for added yardage on the second level. He's big enough to challenge some ball carriers head on, right? So he's largely at his best, just bracing for and diminishing contact blows. I wish that he had another gear in the open field, and he's got good acceleration through the line of scrimmage, but when he hits space or the edge, more often than not, he is, extended runs opportunities saw defensive backs really hawk down his angles, and he was forced to try to put a move on downfield to recreate a path to the end zone. He'll run plenty well, is what I would say, and some of his converted runs for scores on big games came right up the middle. This is one of those areas in which, size and stature do show up. Johnson runs with good forward lean through the box, and he can drop his pads as, necessary, but the linear bursts and lateral cut angles of his base are where a taller frame and heavier mass do cut into his movement skills. You wish he had a little bit more thump and pass protection to go with that stature too. Johnson is he has a good appetite for the contact, and he did a nice job with some of the scan protection assignments to properly sort out a rusher, but his framing and punch are incomplete and can help offer better results. As a pass catcher, Johnson has good hands, but his Iowa usage was generally uncreative in the passing game. A handful of run fake screen passes and swings out of the backfield have been the primary opportunities that he has seen. He should be considered a reliable checkdown and safety outlet in the NFL. Thank you for watching yet another breakdown for another prospect for this upcoming 2025 NFL draft as we continue to kind of prep you, getting ready for your fantasy football drafts later on in the season. I can't wait to keep breaking down a lot of these players. That way you guys can see what's going on, and that way you can make the best selection possible. Here at the Bayou Bengal Fantasy Network, we want to make sure you are hitting all types of championships each and every year, and this is the starter of it. There is no off season when it comes to the Bayou Bengal Fantasy Network, so do yourself a favor, become a part of the family. Hit the subscribe button, smash a like button on the video below, and leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about this prospect? Is this somebody that you want to go in and try to draft on your fantasy football team? I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.